This is the 3-time Impact Wrestling X Division champion, the newest member of Bullet Club. I am the inevitable Ace Austin. And right now I want you to check out something on YouTube for me. If you're looking for some wrestling content on YouTube, go ahead and head over to the Nation Network. All right, they got some old school, they got some new school, and I'm willing to bet, chances are they've got something that you'll like, and that is inevitable.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McShane with you here. This is the Nation Network. I've been doing a lot of creating this year, which I've done none of last year or probably even the year before. I've just let the creators do their thing because we've been taking our friend Hal Haney's artwork from the 2D form and bringing it into a 3D, more realistic versus a cartoon. And I've been having a blast with it. You guys seem to be liking it. So I thought I'd take us behind the scenes a little bit here and see how I go about doing what I do. It's great having a blueprint to follow, but there are things that the game doesn't offer, and sometimes we just have to get as close as we can, and that might be the case with the next one. I've only had the opportunity so far to make two female of his characters, two females. So I need to bolster up the roster a little bit on the women's division. So we're going to start with a character referred to as Fireheart Homura Shinzo. And I will give you guys a quick look at the reference material. This is what I will be going off of right here. So this is who we're going to try and create and see how this turns out. It'd probably turn out better if I didn't make it disappear altogether. There we go. All right. DHC, what's up, man? Thank you very much. I appreciate you, buddy. Remind you guys that tonight, 7 o'clock p.m., I'll be over on the other channel with Blaze Radio. We are going to be talking in depth about the game and what we have figured out in the past week. I've got a whole bunch of notes. I even have some video to share. So check that out at 7 o'clock tonight over on Blaze Radio. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, come right back here because we will be live with the lead developer on UPW, right? Ultra Pro Wrestling, yes, UPW. And we even have a very special guest who's going to be joining us as well. So you do not want to miss that. 2 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be live. If you have any questions regarding Ultra Pro, its development, update on the Kickstarter, all that stuff is going to be discussed. So come out, join us. It's going to be a good time. There'll be some information to be had. Questions will be answered. And I think everybody's starting to get more and more excited about this game because it's already had a very, very successful Kickstarter campaign. I know I am ramped up for this thing. Can't wait. William Weir's in the house. Keith O'Toole's in the house. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be at. Thank you, Keith. I can't tell you what. Going into this game, up until maybe 3 weeks before launch, I just didn't have a real direction. I really wasn't looking forward to anything. And then I don't know what it was. I just was looking at Hal's work. And something inside just clicked and said, man, bring it into, do a reverse. A lot of times you'll see real wrestlers and then they're turned into comic books or cartoons and things like that. In this case, they're all cartoon characters. I said, let's bring them in and make them look like they were real people. And I'm glad everyone seems to be like, it's been a lot of positive feedback. We've been getting a lot of views and all that good stuff. So thank you to all of you guys out there. It is the nation strong. All right, that's enough talk. Let's start getting to work here. So we are working, let's see. Nope, we're going to go with new. And again, female. I'm just really needing to add at least 4 more. I'm not going to have a massive women's division, but I want at least 4 more to the 2 I already have. That'll give me 6. I can have a couple of tag teams and some singles. And then over time, I'll just, drip in 1 more here, 1 more there, both on the guys and the girls, because he keeps on banging them out, man. It's just unbelievable what he does. Unbelievable. All right, I'm going to say she's a technician because she looks a lot like Natalia. I always start out with the no persona, just get them as bare bones as you can. Wish you can have them with no hair starting too, just to really start out with a clear slate. I need to do one thing real quick. Hold on. Go here. All right, good to go. And now let me bounce back here and get my reference material back up on the screen so I can actually see it. Nothing wants to cooperate today. By the way, I had recently mentioned that I had picked up a... Is it really going to take up the whole damn screen? No, come on. There we go. I had picked up a Nintendo 64, and we were going to start doing some of that stuff as well. And I've got to check. I was thinking there was an issue with my hookups that I haven't used in a long, long time, but now I know it's not that. So either the console I bought is not working, and it was secondhand, so what do you expect? And now I got to get a hold of these guys in Georgia that were here for this trade show. Or I got a bad cart, which would really suck because I paid $35 for that, but I will get it back on eBay if that's the case. And that, of course, is for your the WWE title there, No Mercy. Now, I do have 3 others that I picked up, which includes WrestleMania 2000, the HCW game, which I know is going to be terrible, and apparently there was a WCW, which I forget the title, but I just got it, and it's supposed to be really good, too, and compatible with No Mercy so far as enjoyment and things of that. So I'm going to check those other 3 out, and if none of them work, then I know it's the console. And I'm not sure if I'd rather it be the console right now or if I'd rather it be the No Mercy, because those things are not easy to find, and they're not cheap. So... All right, so Fireheart, Hamura Shinzo. I wonder how he comes up with all these names and stuff. If you guys have been around a minute, then you remember back in 18 or 19... when they first introduced us to the BCW in the game, we ended up doing a season of Original Cause. And you guys were all part of it, man. Everybody was during the stream. It just really evolved out of nowhere. But everybody was just throwing ideas out there, and we'd do random generation on the Cause. So we would just hit the random button, and whatever came out, then we came up with names and backstories and all that. So it's kind of like that, only it's so much better. I mean, this guy's work is just freaking off the charts good. All right. And I really appreciate the fact that he gave me permission to do this. Didn't have to do that, and I wouldn't have done it without his permission, even though it's out there and there's nothing to stop you from creating stuff in the game. And it's just professional courtesy, I guess. I just know how much time he would have had to put into creating these characters, and I wasn't just going to go start burning through them and putting them out there if he wasn't comfortable with it. So very appreciative of that. Keith, I gotta tell you, Thirst in Blood is by far one of my favorites, and I just finished him up today doing a little extra tweaking. I was amazed because when I look at the picture, and we can do a side-by-side later on, when I look at the picture that he drew, Thurston has like this real deep indentation in his forehead, like a vampire kind of thing. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to achieve that? And I basically just tried to go with the shadowing the way he did in the drawing. And from the right angles, it's spot on. I couldn't believe it came out that good. The only time you kind of lose the effect is when it's a profile, but most of the time you're looking face on. So, yeah, I'm blown away with how well that turned out. And again, it helps a lot when you have reference material to work off of. I wish I was more like Dre, where I could actually work and talk at the same time, but I am not like Dre. I can't even get this thing to work now. Hold on a minute. Let's try this. Pop out. There we go. Excellent. That'll help me a whole lot. Now we're in business. Now I can see y'all's comments and I can work. Yeah, that's all I've been doing, DHC. I've been just creating. I'm up to probably 20, including the women, 22 of them, and I thought they were going to be a lot faster to bang out. The thing that saves me time a bit is the fact that I copy movesets. I don't create super individual moves. Like in this case, she's going to have Natalia's moveset. And a lot of her, I might tweak a thing here or there, but for the most part, this is going to be Natalia. So that part saved me a little bit. By the way, new thing since the patch. When I get done creating this character, and she'll have her entrance, and she'll have her victory motion, and normally when you go into universe mode, all that stuff is there, right? No, not anymore. It'll keep the moveset. Thank God for small favors. But you have to redo, just like you do with the tag teams, now you have to redo it with the individuals as well. So that's why when I was mentioning how Thurston, I'd gone through it 3 times, and he wasn't saving the proper entrance and all that from last week's premiere. It was saving it, but only in exhibition mode. And that's because I made him after the patch. Everything before the patch, no problem. They took and like they should. Yeah, everything went in the way it was supposed to work. Since the patch, though, I have to redo entrances and victories. So, thank you again, 2K. You never cease to amaze. You never disappoint. You deliver the shit. All right, let's get to business here. As usual, the bodies... It's sad how little control we have over this. Body type, medium. I think medium is fair. And again, we're thinking about a natty type. So let's figure what looks closest. 5'6". I'm going to go 5'8" on her. We'll keep the buck 33. I think that's probably going to be about right. Actually, we'll go a little less because she's a Japanese. I believe she is anyway, so we'll go a little smaller on that. Some of his stuff, he'll actually give you heights and weights as a background on the wrestler. Otherwise, it's just sometimes little stories, and they're all good. I mean, the backstories he comes up with are hilarious. They're funny. They're just really good. Let me just take a couple of these other ones before I settle in. Yeah, I think I might go with that one. Works for me. All right, so we start there. I got to get rid of that hair, though. It's going to drive me nuts because it's not what we're going to be going with here. So let me get to the attire. I'm kind of doing this out of order, but bear with me. It'll all come together at the end. Yeah, Keith, I plan on doing some. The problem is the game has no damn promos. And up until now, I've been going back to 2K19 to cut promos and then just, record them and then bring them into the game and do during the live stream of the actual game, which I can't really do that with this. I'm not going to create this whole friggin' roster on 2K19 just for the pleasure of having a promo section. And I showed you guys in a prior video what I have to do in this game by going into the video mode, but then it's never going to be the full screen. So then I'm getting really lousy quality coming out. But that's my only other option. It really is. There's no other option I can come up with. So, but I will be doing promos and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to that part, actually. I just haven't got it yet. There's a big twist already that I'm working on. You've only seen the tip of the iceberg. Let's just go that right. I'm not going to give you any more detail than that, but we are just beginning this run. Yeah, I think Thurston is a bit of Gangrel with even Louis from Interview with the Vampire. You know, it's just a little bit of every kind of vampire thing. Or what's his, the dude from Twilight. Can't remember the name, but Lucha Underground had one too. That's correct. Yeah, I mean, there are a few good things they've done here. Not many, but a few. All right. Focus, focus. Appearance. Hair and facial parts. Go into our hair. It may take me a minute to respond to you guys. Don't think I'm ignoring you, but if I don't focus on this thing, we'll never get moved forward. All right, so we're looking for a short hairstyle, swept over, preferably. Like, that would be perfect. It'd be better if it was going the other direction, which is what we're looking for. But I will totally go with this if I don't find anything better, because otherwise that is perfect for what we're looking for right now. And periodically I will bring that back in so that you guys can see what the progress is and how close we are to the picture. Let's see. Edward, that's correct. You win. It's been a minute. During COVID, me and the girlfriend watched all of Twilight and all of Harry Potter in like days. I mean, it was like just kept banging them out there, man. Banging them out. I'd only seen like the first two Harry Potters, so that got me all the way through the series. I liked it more than I thought I was going to be honest with you. I didn't think I was going to be a big fan. This is actually pretty friggin' exact. That's it. That's our hair. Cool. I love it. Spot on perfect. All right, so we're going to leave the base color being black, I think. I'm debating. Well, let's try it. Hit our hair dye. Like I said, I'm doing this way out of whack. Her face actually is very accurate as well. I'm just going to shave down the jawline a little bit. But other than that, I'm not going to touch that face. It's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. Sometimes it works out this way, not all the time. All right, let's get over to here. Pick a color, any color. We're going to go with black. Different ways of doing this. I like to use a very big brush when I know I have to cover a lot of area, and then I can go back in and detail it out later. But it just saves a lot of time, in my opinion. But to each their own. So we're just gonna do it like that. Now, of course, I can only see the front, so I have to kind of decide on my own what happens back here. And I think that's going to be what we want to do right there. Okay, cool. So, what we're going to do now is blend it. And to do that, we're going to start back with the pink, but we need a darker shade as it gets to the darker roots. Now's where we'll zoom in a little bit, and I can back out of that because that didn't come out good. There it goes. Oh, dang it. Well, we'll go back in there with the black as well and bring it all together. This one's going to take a little bit extra for the blending process. Okay. You're quite welcome. Didn't we just have black up here? Man, I'm on a roll. Let's go. Yeah, that Buckingham thing, I just threw that in myself because when I saw the illustration right off the bat, that's the first thing that I thought of, is that it's a cross between Regal and the British Bulldogs. He basically put everybody in British wrestling into one character. Did a great job with it. And the backstory I came up with was, because he did look very similar, was that he may or may not be the nephew of William Regal. Just like, you know, the Big Show may or may not have been Andre's son for a period of time. One of my favorite things still to this day was when they were doing the WCW Nitro thing and Show was part of the NWO. And they were taking over the set on a weekly basis. And they had just kicked Bischoff and Heenan out. And they've commandeered the broadcast table. And Scott Hall looks at him and says, "Hey, yo, man, was Andre really your father?" And he just looked at him and says, "What are you doing, man? Why are you screwing with the character thing?" Well, it's like we all wanted to ask the question, but he did. So, yeah, that's kind of the thought process I had when going with the William Regal being his nephew or his uncle. And in all honesty, if Regal was in the game this year, I might have even used that as part of a story mode. And I've had several people asking me about uploading these. I will be uploading them periodically. After I've already debuted them and used them a bit in the shows, I will start to put like packs of 3 or 4 of them together. There are going to be arenas as well that'll be coming out. So if you guys want to add some of these to your collections, they will be available in the not too distant future. Of course, I will announce releases on Twitter when that happens, along with some photographs, so make sure you're following on Twitter. We're at that point in time on this build right now where I start to get a little nervous. And here's why. 15 to 20% of the time, when I go to save this thing, it's just going to crash, and it's all gone. And then damn thing you can do about it. So I've learned now to try and do certain things and then save and then come back where at least I don't lose everything. I wasn't necessarily planning on getting this detail into the hair this early on in the build, but it's just kind of the direction it's leading me in, and it's working. So I just gotta hope that it cooperates. but we could definitely take bets on it. Will it or won't it crash? I'm feeling like I might be okay. There are times where I just know. I said, no, this is it. It's going down. I have the inkling that it might. I hope I am wrong, because as you can see, this has already been like 20 minutes of work just on the hair alone. All right. And there we got the hair. You got to remember, you won't be looking at it up close either. It's in the ring, so it's going to be from a distance away. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to save this. For that, I'll need a drum roll. Yeah, I mean, the game looks great. You can never knock the visual. And the things they've done this year are even better. But what good is all that? All right, it's moment of truth time. I get nervous. Please don't crash. I think we're okay. It usually doesn't get this far. Usually by now it's crashed. Thank you. All right. Well, at least I won't lose that. I've got the body. I've got the hair. Face is good. Now it's just attire. Now, when I say just attire, damn, this girl's got some attire. I'm not sure what made me think that this was the one to tackle, other than the fact that I really like it. Oh, I do need to change her eyes, though, because she's Asian. What's her name? H. There you are. All right, now let's go take a look at the face a little bit here. And again, this is something they did really well this year, so we'll go with an Asian. See, the thing is, I really like the face shape here. But I can make that happen anyway. Actually, this isn't so bad. And then you have your face textures for different sculpts, so this shows you the different areas of featuring and skin tone and freckles and all those little things. And that works for me. Okay. So we'll select our region here. Gonna bring those eyebrows down a little bit. Gonna bring the eyes up a little bit. That up a little bit. He's got a smaller face. All right. I find that the eyebrows on their own are never really shaped very well. You have to do all this tweaking here to get the eyebrows to kind of look the way that I want them to. Forgot something here, didn't we? A lot of the jawline work is easiest done in this mode, in my opinion. I can bring it in just a little bit there. A little bit there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Again, it's a cartoon that I'm looking at, so can't really be wrong on that one as long as you have the basics covered. I think you're in good shape. so happy that hair was there because that is exactly what I'm looking for. All right, now comes the fun part. Attire. So it's a two-piece. We're going to look. Retro, what's up, buddy? Oh, snap, crackle, pop. Nope, not copy. What am I doing? Edit attire. There we go. Clothing, upper body. Let's start with the brassieres and see if there's anything that's just going to make my life simple. The odds are slim. What we would like to find is something that's got a heart pattern cut out in the center section. In a perfect world, the odds are that's not going to exist. And that's where we're going to have to start looking at other options. Pink and black is a color scheme. What's this one doing? That's so close. All right, before we get too deep in, let's go this route and see what might be here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find what I'm looking for on this one. We lucked out with the hair, but I think that's where the luck is going to run out. Now, there's two other women that I'll be doing that are going to be much easier. I mean, like, super fast. This is definitely the challenge one of the bunch. And there's at least 4 more of the guys that I'm looking forward to that won't be too bad. I just did 2 more this morning. And by the way, if you are a Hal Haney fan and you've got particular drawings of his, characters of his that you like and a lot want to see in this season, oh man, that's almost workable. But not. Just drop it in the comments now, or if you're watching this later on, put it in the comments in the video, and I will do everything I can to find a way to work them in. Like I said, what we've seen so far is only the tip of the iceberg. There are big plans. And I'm really wanting to get the roster part done because I can't move forward without people, right? I need my peoples. Oh, damn. That is so close to you. Vinyl it is. All right. Super cool. All right, now we can just get in here and we want to put a almost like a flaming look around the heart. So let's get into our designs and see what might accomplish this effect. This will definitely help. Oh, that's really good. We're moving along now. Things are starting to click a little bit. take another one of these, and I don't know if that's going to work because I need the flame effect to be going the opposite direction now, which I don't think I can do that with that same one. This might work. Let me try this one. I can cover the top part up in a minute. I'm not worried about that. I just need to get these sides. Let me see if there's something a little better or not. Everything is curving in the same direction. That's my problem right now. I need it to go. Maybe I can. No. All right. Well, there's a B plan. There's always a B plan. Let me think here a second. I might have a better idea. Let's keep that. Alright, we can always go back to that if I need to, but I'm going to try something here. It's going to require layering and patience. And the good news is this year they finally gave us triangles and circles and squares and not just the old... I mean, you could always make that into a circle, I guess. But having the friggin' triangle, good God. Cannot think of how many years we've all been waiting for that in the creators world. Now, instead of that, let's use our triangle. Actually, we can use the heart. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to go with the vinyl, I think. Yeah, we'll keep it all the same. Alright, now here comes the part that I'm going to be curious about. This should work. Alright, here's the part that I need to see if this works or not. Yeah, I think it's gonna. Perfect. And then we'll go back and put that heart. I'm just going to move that heart logo up a few layers at the end. But that should do the trick. I'm going to do 2 more of those, I think. So this is how you. This is the old way we did the CAW creations right here, before you could import logos. And as everybody knows, so this is the way we had to work around the fact that we couldn't import logos back in the day. For all your young kids who are used to that. I swear I'm not trying to look down her shirt. Just need to get the angle right. Look at this. And now, if I take this heart logo and move it all the way up to the top. There it goes. See that? Voila! We are making one of Hal's drawings come to life. So this is Fireheart Homura Shinzo, a fictitious character from Hal Haney's imagination. All right, let's get back in here. We got some more trim stuff to deal with, but yeah, I love that way that turned out. Give her black trim around the edges there. I always feel like Bob Ross when I narrate things like this. It's like, we're going to put some happy trees over here. Now, realistically, there's trim all down the sides here. Might be a little more challenging to get that to happen. But let's give it a shot anyway, because I do think it helps it pop. We also have a couple of side panels we got to throw in there, so let's go with the side panels first. You know, I was talking about back before we could import logos and stuff. Well, yeah, there was also a limit on how many of these you could use, which I guess there still is, but it's a lot more than it used to be. I'll tell you what, we're going to swap that out for this. So the first one's going to be our base. So we want to make it a little bit wider. That's that one done. Who let the clown in? What's up, buddy? Yeah, if you haven't had a chance, you can find the guy a number of different ways. If you're not on Twitter, you should still be able to see his stuff by searching for it. But it's at Hal Haney, Haney art, all one word, at Hal Haney art. And that'll send you there. Then he also has an Etsy account where you can look at a lot of his stuff. I just bought 2 prints that I can't wait to get on the wall a little bit later on today. Super talented guy. Remind everybody once again, tomorrow, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's 9 a.m. hour. I think about, no, man, I've been saying it wrong, haven't I? It'll be 9 a.m. tomorrow for us. 2 o'clock p.m. is England, which is where Sam is at. So I beg your pardon. I completely muffed that up earlier. Hopefully I didn't put anything out in writing that way. So it'll be an early one tomorrow if you want to join us for the exclusive Control Center, Update Center for Ultra Pro Wrestling with the developer Sam, who just got back from a family function in New Zealand. And he's back to work now. He's extremely excited. The Kickstarter campaign has been going very well. And therefore, there'll be some news to discuss. And we're also going to have a very special guest joining us, so you'll want to be here for that one if you can. So once again, it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 2 o'clock in the UK. It allows the piece to go almost completely around without having that blurry effect that it otherwise would get. And to say almost all the way around is a little bit of a stretch. It'll go, how far? 3/4 of the way. Not too bad. And you'd never do that with just the standard piece, so. Go vinyl. There you have it. And then we'll do the same thing for the back part. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the black trim on the inner sleeve section. I think it's going to be really hard to... We'll try it. We're going to try it with a circle and see how it does. So far, everything has really been working well for us, so... There you have it. It's coming along pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. All right, we're going to try this and see if it's possible. There's 2 different attempts I can make at this. The first one would be just to go straight on with the logo and see what it does. But I'm pretty sure it's going to blur and get gnarly looking. See how it blurs up at the top there? And I can avoid that. Let me shrink it down, so it'll be a lot easier to locate and to manipulate. By going back to the mapping option that we did a minute ago. Now the only question is, how is it going to behave once you put it? See what I'm saying? It gets a little funky here. And it's all kind of ripply and stuff. And the number of different little pieces you'd have to put together to make that work. I'm just not going to put that much energy into that. I don't see the juice being worth the squeeze. I think this top came out really good, aside from that one little factor that we're not going to put the black trim on the interior. I'm very happy with that. I swear if this thing crashes, I'm going to save it now. I'm not even going to go any further. Everybody take a deep breath with me. Please, please, please. Come on, come on. Yes! Yes! Ugh. That's the feeling I get. Go back to edit. Trying to see if I got the back door wide open. I'm just loving this shit. So it doesn't get any better for me than this. I got fresh air coming through the house, chilling out, gaming. Yep, that's a good thing. All right, let's hit our lower. Actually, edit attire, clothing, upper body. And we want to see, I think it's going to be under the hands. She's got this full length. Yeah, like in this section here. Something like that. And I've already got an idea of something we can do that won't take forever. Oh, I like this one. Yeah. That's the be the one. Alright, so we got pink and white and black. You're going to go ahead and choose the base color and go with the pink. Which therefore leaves that as the black. Same basic concept as to what we just did a minute ago. Throw that up there. And then we're going to map it, or remap it as they say. Wasn't thinking about this unusual cut there, but that's okay. There's a workaround for that as well. We'll put it right on the seam. This will make it easy to match the other one accordingly. So here's the fun part. Normally you can just go here and copy it, but that white thing ends up being all out of whack if you've mapped it. If you didn't map it, it would be perfectly fine. So now we've actually got to manually go in there and line it up and turn it a little bit. Like that. All right, now let's see. Once again, doing everything in-house here. We're not going to import anything on this one. We're going to make what we need. And what do we need? Get back to these armbands. Going to go to our group images, and we're going to create a group image. By the way, you can see I've already made several. That was for Major Lee Powers. It's a camouflage striping for the side of his trunks. We got the icicles for Otto, character that we have not yet seen, so I'm not going to spoil anything. And I will give this one away. This is for Americana, which was the original character for Ultra Pro Wrestling. So what we're going to do now is dive into our, oops, not design, sorry, those designs. And happily, it's not going to be hard to do because they kept it pretty basic on this part, or Hal kept it pretty basic on this part. We should be able to easily get 3 nice ones out of that. There's one. We're going to make 3. And then just to make sure they're the right size. And we're going to be stretching it out a little bit, so you want to keep them a little closer together if you're going to stretch something, because that space will get much bigger, and if I space them out now, then it'll just be all wonky looking. Okay. And what this also does is saves a lot of, like I said, they do still have limits on how many of these things you can put on a created wrestler. So if I was doing 6 of these, it would actually be 12 of these. I mean, that's eating all that memory up. Whereas I'm going to just do it once, and it'll save it as 1 instead of 6. That'll make more sense probably in a minute. Perfect. I'll say this, it's been a very cooperative build. Now we need to get this to be hopefully a flesh tone color. That will hopefully match the flesh tone when we're done. I like that. As you see, it's up to 16, so you can put 16 into 1. That saves you a lot. I also feel like doing it this way is almost necessary because knowing how much time he spent drawing all that stuff out and everything, I feel if I was just like copying things off of his and pasting them in there, that'd be cheating. So I have to do my share of work too now. Buckingham were added to what? What am I missing here? Added to of Hal's guys. Oh, to your company. Gotcha. Cool. All right, let's see. So again, we're mapping this one so that it will fit without the blur effect. And it's doing another good job for us here. So go material. I'm going to stick with the vinyl. I think it's going to give us the best outcome for the colors. Not sure what's supposed to be happening in the back. But I think we might consider going pink. Let me finish this part up first and then we can see what fits. Back to images, designs. Hands down, this is the most that I've done creating-wise in years. All right. What I'm going to do with this one, because the colors are matching, it's going to be a pain in the ass to work with, is I'm just going to leave it right there, change the color now. And then, oops. Let's try it again. There we go. Now I can do what I need to do with it. This is going to be a two-parter because we have to go all the way up the side. There we go. West Coast coffee is the best you got. How, man, I see a lot of videos about the West Coast. Doesn't look like it's a, well, depending what part you're in. I guess San Francisco you can't go to anymore. Yeah, hum along. That was kind of my logic, too. I did a lot of my housework already because I knew I was going to be a bum. It's going to go all around. I don't know if I want to map it or not, but we'll give it a shot and see. Just having one of these moments where I realize this needs to all be black. So we'll fix this real quick. One of the other things about the old games is whatever color you last used would always be the first one. You wouldn't have to skip all the way to the end again. And I wish they'd bring that back. Now, this one should not have to be changed color-wise, but it definitely has to be moved because you need the black trim. So that'll work there. Back to our designs. Let's see if I can bang this out quickly now that I kind of know what I'm doing. Come on, man. Stop being a pain in the ass. Starting to get that feeling again. All right, I'm going to save this right now before I go any further. Again, a lot of work has been done here, so God forbid. Yes. Thanks, Clown, for being here. Appreciate you, buddy. First video got up over 100,000, and second part got age restricted. Oh my goodness. What are you posting, man? I gotta check out some of this stuff and see what I'm missing. All right, back to edit. This one's definitely taken a minute to get done, but I'm really happy with the overall results so far. The other thing is if the game crashes on you while you're doing this, you lose your color palette as well. Cool. We're going to remap this one. And we're getting almost down to the home stretch here. And that's why I save a lot of time by just copying moves and entrances, because, good lord, can you imagine? Nope, not customs. Did we? I think we did. Maybe we didn't. Hold on. No, we didn't. All right, we're getting there. Now we're just going to take this trim all the way around through the back. Knee pads, boots, and we're good to go. It has been a long time since I've done anything remotely close to this. I used to do Disney Infinity builds all the time, and I would live stream those, but so far as CAW building, yeah, it's been a minute. Substantial creating, but I do find them to be a little helpful in trying to narrow down what you're looking for. May have already been there and I just never noticed it. Well, we caught a lot of breaks on the upper body. I don't think we're going to catch those breaks on the lower body, though. Story of my life. I'm not going to find the first part that I'm looking for. Now I got to try and find the second part that I'm looking for, which is something with flames going up the side, which I feel like that has to be in here. Yeah, that could actually work right there. Yeah, very good. Perfect? No, but very good. Alright, let's just hit our knee pads here and figure it out. Okay, let's see. Images. I think I know how we can make this one kind of work. Won't be an exact look that I'm going for, but it will be close, and I think we're going to be maybe better this way. No, we're going to stick with this. We are so close to the finish line right now, I can see it. Maybe I'm not as close to that bot. Let's change this out. Yeah, this will work. Here's what we do. Start with the heart. And we're going to do the background first because we're going to layer this up. I'm not going to put material on. I'm going to leave that normal. Okay, and now yeah, I wish there was a mirror option. I know somebody mentioned that earlier. Blazed in the house. Save it for tonight. Yes, indeed. And a reminder, everybody, mentioned earlier that we'll be together tonight over on Blaze Radio at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. My bad for everything I got wrong. 9 a.m. tomorrow on my channel, we will have the developers of Ultra Pro Wrestling here with us. It's 2 o'clock their time in England, so I think I've made a mention of 2 p.m. I've got to change that. So, I know it's a Monday and I know it's early, but if you can, be here because we have a special guest that's going to be joining us. It's going to be super cool. You're not going to want to miss it. I wish I could get a mirror image because then it would be perfect. Instead, this is close, though. That's the whole thing about this game. You're always having to settle. It's not what I want, but it's close. Really? What we can do is drop one more of those in there. Rant time. You got that right. I got notes. I even have video. I'm bringing video. We are going all guns blazing on this thing. See how I did that? Did you see how that worked out? Blazing. Product placement, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah, not perfect, but good enough. I knew when I saw this character that I was like, I have to have her. And then I was like, but damn, it's going to be a lot of work. He put a little extra time onto this costume. Thank God for the copy feature, right? Although it did screw up my logos. Oh, you bastard. What the F? Of course, knowing him, he probably banged her. All right, well, here's the $1 million question. Can I save it without it taking a shit on me at this point? I may go in and do a little bit more work on it later on. Like, for example, right along the trunk line there, that I might want to take that part out on both sides. But all in all, for the most part, I really like the way that logo came out on the top part. So there we have it. Personal information. What's your sign? Will there be a baby face? And Homura Shinzu is going to be from Japan. Now the question, where? Osaka, Tokyo, Yamaguchi, Hiroshima, Kobe, Kyoto. I like Yamaguchi. It's fun to say. Yamaguchi. Probably don't want to have the USA sign in here for her. Let's see. If we go here and then we go about halfway down is when you have a lot of those females type signs. And by female type, it's like the Queen and stuff like that. Bliss. Twisted Bliss. Bailey. Ding dong, hello. I did prefer Bailey with the ponytail and the girl next door thing over the heel version. She's pulled it off over time. My personal preference was the ponytail. Who's gonna catch you? Watch me live. Everything is lived there. Baddest. Yeah, we can give her a baddest on the planet. Why not? Fabulous. That's generic enough. Act like a lady. There you go. Now she's got some posters. And last thing is, give her a screen pose. I don't like that one. Oh, that's not too bad. Gotta do something where her head's gonna be off to the side like that so you can actually see her face, though. That I kind of like. Another thing, in the past years, not last year, but the ones before, you were able to, like, put it, let's say, in this position and then take the screenshot, and that's the angle it would shoot from for your thumbnail. Whereas now, it's not going to do it that way. It's like wherever she's at here is where it's going to be, based on the actual pose. So many little things that they didn't stick with. This isn't bad. Yeah, I'm almost done here, and then I'll send you a message. We can do a quick test one if you want. And see. I've never actually done it, but I know it's there where you can choose the individual and then have them share their screen. The only thing is it's got to be paused at certain points. I just ran video and kind of clipped it up, so it'll just run throughout the conversation if I don't pause it momentarily. Jeez, every face here looks like she's having a miserable day. Does she not smile at all? Well, that's kind of like a Joker smile there. My goodness. Like I said, they'll be coming out in little mini packs. And there's plenty more to come. There's going to be arenas coming and all kinds of good stuff. So check back here. Once again, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 2 o'clock in the UK. And I definitely know I got to go and make some changes on that. I screwed up. So, yeah. Bam. There's that. In the meantime, everybody else, have a great rest of your day. And I will look forward to seeing you right back here on the Nation Network when we do some more of this crazy stuff here If it's 2K, it's got to be crazy. It's like the only way they make it. Take care until then, everybody. I'll see you tonight at Blaze, 7 o'clock, Blaze Radio. Peace.